if you're comfortable in your training, how do you expect to be comfortable in the game? It doesn't make any sense because the area where you're training right now is not representative of the game.
Good Drill Nation, what's going on? You got Ross Greenfield. I'm a doctor of physical therapy, and to my right we got
Bobby Whyte. No titles necessary.
No titles at all. And in this video we're going to break down the advice that Gilbert Arenas got from Chris Mullin. Chris Mullin's a former NBA legend. He's a good shooter and all of that. And at the end of this video, we're going to say if it's a good or bad drill. But out of this video, you're going to understand what we think is the important aspects of becoming a good shooter, not in practice, but in actual games. What can you take from this video to implement into your training that will actually give you measurable results in games when it comes to your shooting ability?
He talks about something and you're going to be like, no duh, but not no duh. If you actually understand what he's saying and you apply what Gilbert is talking about to your training, you will become a knockdown shooter. So let's get into it.
I became more efficient at working out from Chris Mullin. So, I'm sitting on the shooting machine, shooting. And, he's like, that's a waste of 1,000 shots.
Mm-hmm. All right. Shooting on the shooting machine, shooting. Weren't we all there? Or if you're not there, you're like, I wish I had a shooting machine because then I can get up every shot. I could get up all of the shots. And if I get up all the shots, I'll be better than everybody else at shooting. But then you have Chris Mullin telling him, Chris Mullin, shout out to Chris Mullin, beat St. John's back in the day by 34 points. It's the biggest differential, Division II, Division I. Anyways, Gilbert Arenas is getting this information from him. That's a waste of 1,000 shots. That is, without going further into detail, that's profound. When everybody thinks more for the sake of more.
I had a shooting machine. It was my dad. And I would shoot up thousands of shots all the time with my dad rebounding. I was a sniper. I didn't miss. I could shoot and make every freaking shot when my dad was rebounding. But you know what? In the game, I never even shot. I was too scared to even let the ball go. Terrified. My dad yelling, shoot the ball. And I was like, I can't. My coach said I'm not a shooter. I'm not allowed to shoot. I wasn't allowed to. I didn't have the green light, and I wasn't confident enough to take that green light.
He said, all right, go to the half court. Full speed run, shoot. 10 times. 0 and 10.
There you go. 0 and 10. Full speed run and shoot. Now, does this mean that you'll never shoot a catch and shoot shot? Like, we're not saying that you'll never get that shot and all of your shots are going to be full speed from half court shot. It's not about the speed. It's about what speed causes.
In the same breath that we say the shooting machine becomes too easy, so could running full speed and doing exactly what he's telling him to do now. Where Gilbert went 0 and 10 right now. At some point, that might become a drill where he goes 10 for 10. I would have the same advice that I have for somebody that's shooting on the shooting machine. It's time to mix it up. It's time to add some chaos. It's time to disrupt that. It's time to add some variability.
People don't understand. People don't think. Players don't think what is actually happening in a game that's different than training. And you're saying variability. You have to get variability. And there's so many people that talk about the importance of variability in training. But like when you really break it down, why is variability important? Because the game is variable, meaning you don't know what's going to happen before it happens. You have no rhythm going up into the thing because you haven't shot since warm-ups and you got into the game and it's been 20 minutes since you touched the ball. How are you going to go based on the same rhythm that you've been in? You're not. You're screwed.
Think about the amount of interference in a game, right? Defenders closing on you. You have refs, you have fans, you have opposition, you have all the constraints in the game. And now to shoot on a shooting machine, that ball comes out, perfect pass, same spot, all the time in the world. You're able to just be comfortable. And if you're comfortable in your training, how do you expect to be comfortable in the game? It doesn't make any sense because the area where you're training right now is not representative of the game.
Yeah. And the shooting, you're not thinking about the shot that you're about to take until right before you take it. When you're in a drill or you're in training or you're in practice, you're just trying to get shots off. So it's like, what is the mechanism for making a shot in that scenario versus the mechanism of being able to make shots when you know you're about to shoot? You're in a calm environment. There's no stakes. There's no pressure. It's a completely different mechanism that will make you successful there then will make you successful in an actual game.
I think players that get to the level of Gilbert Arenas are hunting for challenges, right? They are hungry for challenges. They are looking for things that they stink at, right? Mullin painted this picture and he went 0 for 10, right? That lit him up. That showed him he could get better. While most players are going to get stuck in that shooting machine mentality and just get up 1,000 reps a day and be okay with that.
And he said, now that's the difference. You're training a practice shot, not a game shot.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I would say even what he told Gilbert to do isn't a game shot. There's still nobody trying to block him, right? There's still no threat of being subbed out. There's still not all the interference that a game provides when you're doing that drill. That drill's harder, right? Full speed. That's great. From a variability standpoint, from a mix it up, let's do something you're bad at, from a challenge perspective, that's great. But I don't like calling that stuff game shots. That's why I hate game shots at game speed. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. It's not a game shot unless it's a game shot.
I say this because I would have been good at that in high school. I would have. If I was doing that drill with my dad alone at the outdoor suburban courts where I grew up, I would have been great at that. That wouldn't have made me better in the game.
And then I think what a lot of players do is that they go back to training to try to get their confidence back in training. And what I would argue is that your training shouldn't be meant to get your confidence back. Your training should be meant to get you confident for when the game happens. And it's a very different way of approaching it. And it seems obvious, seems like duh. What's the thing that you said yesterday? No duh, but you're not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no duh, Ross. That's obvious, but you're still not doing it.
If you watched me practice, you would have thought I was a Division I player. 6'7", athletic, dunking, shooting. If you watch me in AAU, Division I player. There was something, though, getting into a team setting, either college or high school, where I really struggled because I think I was known. They had this vision of who I was from who I was, and I was never able to step into like who I was becoming because I would just get put back to who I was.
This is when I understood why some players can't translate their shooting in game.
The way he's even saying that, it sounds obvious. And again, I agree with the point that you made of that's not your game shot. You have to go full speed for it to be your game shot. Yeah, that's not a game shot still. But the way he's saying that, it seems obvious. It's like, that's why your shooting isn't translating in the game, because you're not doing the things that you should be doing to get better in the game. You're doing something that's random. You're doing something that's good for training and not good for the game. And just the way he said that, everybody's probably feeling like an obvious bug. Is like, oh, he's just a player. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, no shit, Gilbert Arenas. I know that you should be training to be better in the game. But he knows that it's not obvious based on behavior.
No duh. Yeah, I got to be doing game shots. No, but you're not doing it. You're not doing no
crazy.
duh. We say things that are so painfully obvious, and you're sitting there like, yeah, of course. No, not yeah, of course. I know what you're doing at home. It's not the things you need to do to get better. You're not doing it. I trained thousands of kids in my gym for the last 12 years. And I know what they're doing. The reason they get so much better with me is because I know how to get their focus on the things that matter. Cut out all the nonsense. Focus on the things that matter. Well, what matters, Bobby? Well, the things that are going to get you better in the game, no duh.
You know, you can shoot 1,000 shots, but if you're shooting them a certain way and it's not your game shot, it won't translate.
You shoot them a certain way and it's not your game shot. It is a lack of information. It's a lack of good information and saying what are the things that are actually important. And he's saying how you're shooting those shots, you're shooting them like a practice shot and not like a game shot. And what is the difference between practice and game shot? Just to be so clear, if you're not focused and you're not present in the game when you go to shoot, meaning you're not actually deliberately trying to put the ball in the basket where the basket is, if you're not doing that, it will be lucky if it goes in. It is luck if it goes in, and you're not surprised when it misses. That's how it goes. I know that for a fact. And if you go 80% on a shooting machine over 1,000 shots, you should be like, this is fishy. This smells fishy because when I get into a game, I shoot a quarter of the percentage of this. If you just paid a little attention to what's going on and why there's a big discrepancy, then you can get a little bit closer.
The drill last night that you guys were doing, 3-on-3 with one sub, quick, You got to hit 3 threes in a row. So it's threes only.
Yeah.
Right. So it's 3 on 3, threes only. Okay. The team that wins has to hit 3 threes in a row, and it's quick checkouts to the 3-point line after a miss or make. Right. What was the shooting percentage there?
12.
12%. I was gonna say 8%. That's learning. You put players in a position, right, where they're shooting at 8% in a drill. Learning is happening, right? Because there's struggle there, right? We get better by struggling.
So I was in that drill. I didn't have a lot of stakes. My first 2 shots I made, they went right in. But they were like kind of wide open. It was the beginning of the drill. Nobody was really like running yet, like at me. And I was like kind of open. And then I only made 1 more shot the entire time throughout that drill. And I knew like there's a hard closeout. There's somebody right there. And the crispness of the vision of the basket wasn't there because it became way too peripheral, and I'm seeing a lot of my attention and focus is going into the defense. Then it goes into, okay, because the defense is here, my hand is here. I'm not trying to think about it, but my attention goes there because I'm not used to that. I'm not in drills all the time where there's somebody closing out on me and you have to shoot a 3. I know that they know that I have to shoot a 3, and all of these things are playing into a role, and I couldn't keep my attention on the rim. What happened though? I go home and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I need that, and I have to go work on it. I need more of that drill. I need to be able to stay present, focused, locked into the goal while all these things are happening so that I can make shots when there's chaos.
Yeah, we want our players living in that 0 to 10 more often than they're living in that 10 to 10, right? If you're going 10 out of 10, you're doing it wrong, right? That might make you feel good, but your goal isn't to feel good. Your goal is to be good, and you need to be willing to live in those 0 for 10 drills, right? Put yourself in positions where you're failing, and failing, because then when you get better at those drills, it actually means something. You're just going on the shooting machine every day, getting up reps, checking that box, getting that 500 shots up, getting that 10 makes per spot, moving around the circle. That feels good, but it's not getting you good. It's too easy. It's too comfortable. Live in the 0 to 10 moments.
Good drill, Black Friday sale. Our goal is to help you be good, not feel good.
Yeah, I invented
50% off.
Why when people say, oh, they can't shoot, yeah, they haven't trained their game shot yet.
I love that. They haven't trained their game shot. So good.
Yeah, duh. No. Yeah, duh.
Good drill. Good drill, Gil.
Agent Zero, legend.
Good drill, Gil.
He's killing it.
Wait, Good drill, Gil?
We got to get him on.
Is he going to be a good drill
I'm
partner?
sending this to him. We're going to clip this up. I'm going to freaking DM him 100 of these clips.
Good drill, Gil.
Good drill, Gil.
I invented that.
The Good Arena. Gil's Good Arena.
No, Good drill, Gil is way
Good
better.
drill, Gil. Good drill, Gil.
It's good.
Good drill, Gil. We need you on.
Link in bio for the Good drill system. Best system on the planet. Not even close. Like and subscribe.
Has he liked any of your posts?
Or
just
most of them.
Most.